If you're an animal lover, this segment of the Western Wisconsin Journal is for you. I have with me today two guests from Cocos Heart Dog Rescue and puppies. So this is going to be a great show because, come on, puppies make everything great. Welcome to Jennifer and Emily. It's great to have you with us. And these beautiful puppies, Reggie and Reese, what kind of dogs are they?
Boxer Doberman mix.
And how old?
10 weeks.
And so they're brothers, you told me,
Yep.
right? They're beautiful. And so we're just hoping that they cooperate during this interview while we talk about Cocos Heart. Let's start, how did the name come about, Cocos Heart?
Well, our director is Ashley Kurtz, and she started the rescue in 2010, and she had a dog when she was little named Coco, and so she named the rescue after her dog Coco that she loved.
Well, tell me a little bit more about this organization.
Cocos Heart is a rescue grounded in love. We take in all breeds, all ages, from puppies on up to senior dogs, so it doesn't matter. We take in special needs dogs. Pretty much any dog that needs a home we'll take in, and we look and try to get them a forever home.
Okay, that's great. And you're a nonprofit organization?
We are a nonprofit. When we started out in 2010, we started out very, very small, adopted out about 10 dogs that year, and after about a year and a half or so, we got our nonprofit status, and so now, as of last year in 2016, we adopted out 1,172 dogs last year.
So it's really grown quite quickly.
Grown, yes, very quickly. We have grown from a very small amount of fosters and dogs to many dogs.
And what's your role, Jennifer?
I am the fundraising and event coordinator, so I oversee events, fundraising, also a couple programs that we have.
Okay. Emily, what is your role?
I'm a foster mom.
Okay, and so you take these dogs in and care for them until they become adopted, right?
Right.
How many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing it since fall of 2014, I believe, and we've done about 52 dogs in that time, ourselves, my family.
Nice.
So,
very nice.
yeah.
Well, let's talk about how you can adopt one of these dogs. How do you go about doing that?
Basically, if you find a dog, we have several ways that you can see our dogs. You can either come to one of our adoption events that we have, or you can just look at our webpage online or follow our Facebook site. And if you see a dog that you like and want to apply for, you go online to our website, which is cocosheartdogrescue.org, and you can go to our application page and apply for a dog to adopt, and it'll explain everything that you need to do, and you just do the online application, and then our adoption coordinator would get back to you.
And you take this really seriously.
We do.
As far as making sure people do their homework. There's a fee involved.
Right.
And what does that fee
So first
cover?
there's an application fee, just because we want to make sure people are really serious. We're pretty much a complete volunteer-based rescue, so our time is very limited with everything that we need to do. So we want to make sure when people are applying, they're serious. So they pay the application fee. Our adoption coordinator will look at the application, do a past veterinarian check to make sure everything's okay. Talk to you through email about different things with the dog, making sure that they're going to be safe and taken care of. We also do a home visit before you can adopt, and then you do a meet and greet with the dog and the foster parent, and if everything goes well, then you can adopt.
So you check out the families and make sure that
Right.
you know that they qualify as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Then I read about obedience class. Is that one of the requirements?
Yes, for dogs that are under the age of 2, we require that the dogs go to an obedience course with you in the first 6 months that you have the dog.
Can you explain why? Why that's a requirement?
One of the biggest reasons why sometimes we get people wanting to return dogs at about 1 year of age is because at 1 year of age, if you have not taken them to obedience school, a lot of times they act like a really big puppy, because they are. They're a big dog now at 1 year of age, but they have not been trained, so they're still like a puppy. So if you have taken them to obedience, you've learned a lot of skills, you've bonded in a different way, and usually things are a lot smoother. So to help set up the success for the adopter and the dog, we require that you do that.
These guys are brothers, and I asked if they could be adopted together, and your answer was
no.
Why not?
Adopting siblings is something that typically does not work out at all. They bond together instead of with their people, and then they're a lot harder to train. So it's kind of, you can Google it and read up on studies on it too and everything, but it's not usually a good idea to ever adopt siblings out.
So I did go on your website and I was looking at all of these dogs, but it's not just dogs, right? Do you do other?
Well, we do have mini horses now, and that is something that's a little bit different for us. Last fall, we got a call that there were some mini horses that were in need of rescue, and Ashley, with her big heart, said, why not? Let's do it. We had a few people that were willing to take them in and foster them, and so we took them in the fall, and all of a sudden now we have some mini horses.
Okay, all right. What about the qualifications to be a foster for the dogs? What a minimum age, I assume.
Right. You have to be 18, have your own place, or if you rent, we need your landlord's permission for you to do it. Same kind of situation as adopting. Fosters also fill out an application to foster, and then you get assigned what's called a foster mentor, who will come out, meet with you, do the home visit, talk to you about everything that we do, all of our expectations and everything, and then if you both agree that it's a good match, then you can become a foster.
How long do you foster, and how long does it take usually before the dog is adopted, or does that really vary?
It's pretty quick normally. I do mainly puppies, and puppies go pretty quick. They do. I had one puppy that lasted 3 months with me, and that was extremely unusual, very unusual.
But some of our older dogs have lasted up to a couple years with us. It totally depends, but you know, sometimes we'll get an older dog in and it's adopted right away. So it's really hard to tell, you know. It just takes the right person to come and see the right dog. And so it can go anywhere from, we do have a minimum of 10 days in rescue that we do a hold on the dogs so that we can monitor them for their medical needs as well as behavioral needs, and then people are free to adopt, so they can either adopt on that 10th day, or sometimes it has gone up to a couple years. But we also do that medical care because we believe strongly in the vetting and medical care of the dogs as well, and that's pretty much our biggest expense, and one of our hugest philosophies is that we take good medical care of the dogs.
I was reading about that. I think I read about $500,000 last year.
Yes, last year it was over $500,000 that we spent in medical costs, but every single dog that gets adopted like this, they're spayed and neutered, they're microchipped and microchip registered already, so that payment is gone. They're fully up on their immunizations, the distemper parvo, bordetella, rabies. They're tested for heartworm and Lyme disease if they're an older dog. And so we just make sure everything is done and complete so we can give the adopters a good look at where they are medically.
I was very impressed with your organization and how thorough everything is. Do you get a little attached? Is it hard to sometimes let them go? I mean, look at that.
Absolutely. They're all my babies, all of them. They're mine.
They're going to a good home.
But they're always going to a good home, and I still cry a little bit sometimes,
Okay.
but it's gotten better over the years.
I also read about a couple of programs on your website. Why don't you talk about Senior Buddies? What is that?
The Senior Buddies program is where once a week we have a little group of volunteers that takes a couple dogs into a nursing home and visits both the memory care units and the assisted living areas of the nursing home, so that both the puppies get used to being socialized a little bit, but it's great for the seniors as well. They absolutely love it. So twice a month we go to a nursing home in Oak Park Heights in Minnesota, and then twice a month in Hudson here we have a nursing home that they go to. And in fact, these two did it last night, and I heard they did a great job.
Well, they're doing a great
Pretty
job
much
today.
a repeat of today, yeah.
How about Cocos Heart Academy? That sounds interesting as well. What's that about?
Cocos Heart Academy is where we will go into schools and teach the kids about rescue and the importance of rescue and spay and neutering and taking care of your dogs. And we'll go in and do that, and a lot of times in conjunction with that, the kids will do like a little mini fundraiser, or they'll make toys for the dogs or blankets for the dogs. And so it's just kind of a nice way to start them young and spread the word of rescue and the importance of taking care of dogs.
I bet they all go home and say,
we want a dog, yes.
Well, let's, how can you, you're really fun, you need donations, right,
yes,
to operate.
Definitely.
That's how. So how do you get that word out, or how that's kind of what you do,
It
fundraising?
is. It's word of mouth, yes. You know, it's a combination of things from, we do big events that we plan throughout the year, we do small events that we plan throughout the year, but then just like all of our supporters, we ask for people to donate. A lot of times they will bring donations to us or send us money donations, all that kind of stuff. Some places will do toy drives for us, so there's really a wide variety, but we wouldn't be able to do what we did without it.
Who partners with you? Who are some of your big?
Well, we partner with a couple different pet stores. One is in Woodbury, it's Pet Evolution, and they have supported us a lot over the years, and we do a adoption event there twice a month, usually the second and fourth Saturday of the month we do an adoption event there. But here in Hudson, Angel's Pet World has been a huge, huge supporter of us. We do the adoption events on the first and third Saturdays of the month there. During the week, on every Wednesday and Thursday, she hosts what's called our Adoptable Showcase, where we'll have about 5 dogs there during the day, just running around having a play group, and people can come see the dogs then. And she has sponsored us for a lot of our activities. We just moved into a new building in Hudson, and so we had a sign, and she sponsored our sign for us, and so we have her up there on our sign with us. And
It's right across the street from Angel's
right,
Pet World.
Right. So Angels also throws quite a few little fundraisers for us throughout the year too. So Angels,
I wanted to ask about that. What is one of your big fundraising things throughout the year?
Well, there's smaller ones. So for example, like with Angel, like she'll host Easter pictures, which are coming up. So right before Easter, you can go in. We have an Easter bunny, and you can bring your pets in, or people bring their kids in. Doesn't matter if you're human or pet. You can come in and take pictures with the Easter bunny. But then we also do bigger events. Our biggest one of the year is our 5K, which last year became a 5K and a 10K and a puppy dash for kids. And that's September 30th of this year, and it's at Lake Elmo Park Reserve, and so that's kind of a really big event too, where we have a lot of sponsors make it into a really fun day.
Can they run with their dogs?
Yes, and that's nothing but, there's so many races where you can't run with your dogs, but this is a race that you can run with your dog, but it is also a timed chip race, so that's good for real runners too. They can get a timing in as well.
How many fosters do you have? People that do this?
We vary over the time. We've been averaging around, I think, 180 fosters.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot bigger the number than I was thinking.
And we have right now about 280 dogs in rescue.
Okay. If people want to volunteer, is there an opportunity
Yes.
to help? How could they volunteer?
Volunteers are very important to us as well. Like I said, we depend on volunteers pretty much for everything. We had over 900 volunteers last year. There's an application, again, online to be a volunteer. So if you want to volunteer, you just go online to our website and fill out the application. But we need people to help at adoption events holding dogs. Like if somebody comes with multiple dogs and it helps to have somebody else hold another dog. Great job. Great job. We need people who transport dogs, because a lot of times they come from out of state or something like that, and so they'll help transport them, or if a foster can't get their dog to the vet, they'll help transport them either to the vet or back home after, that kind of stuff. We have people who we need to help at events that we have. So there's a lot of different opportunities for people to volunteer.
How do you come across these dogs? I mean, some people will give up their dog, but otherwise some are in hardship. You were talking about going down south and getting the dogs from the New Orleans flooding, right?
Right. We have a partnership with, it's called Save an Angel Rescue down in Louisiana, and we'd been working with them, but we did a big thing last fall when they had the flooding where we took extra dogs in. But once a month right now they bring a group, like, what was it, last weekend they brought up 24 dogs, I believe. So they get in their van with all their dogs and drive them up to us. So we partner with them just because they have too many dogs in shelters down there. They don't have a strong spay and neutering system down there, and so there's a lot of overcrowding of the shelters. So they help clear them out. Their fosters foster them for a couple weeks and get some of the preliminary medical care taken care of, and then they are driven up here. So they're one of our partners. We work a lot with Joplin, Missouri. Their Humane Society can have over 1,500 dogs a month through their Humane Society, and so there's actually a few rescues up here that help take dogs from there. And then we also work with Turtle Mountain Reservation. There's a rescue up there that we take dogs that are strays up on the reservation as well. So those are 3 of our main ones, but we also have a lot of little ones too that
locally?
We do some locally. Fortunately, we don't have as huge of a need locally because a lot of the places that need the help already have some regular people working with them, and a lot of the humane societies are able to place the dogs themselves, but we do some locally when needed. And again, owner surrenders sometimes and that kind of stuff. But
I want to just talk about the showcases that these Saturday morning things, or is that something different?
Well, we have 2 different things. So we have the adoption events on the Saturdays, which is from 11 to 2, either at our Woodbury location or at Angels in Hudson. And so from 11 to 2, we'll have dogs there with their fosters sitting, and you can come and meet them all.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's the adoption events on Saturdays. And then the showcases, we have Mondays at Pet Evolution, there might be 1 dog. And then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, we have at Angels Pet World, we can have up to 5 dogs. And that they're just there kind of on their own without their foster, hanging out and playing, and people can come in and check them out.
How many dogs can you take in as a foster at one time? Is that?
You could do a full litter. I've done up to 7 myself. Or you could do 1. It's really
okay.
Yep.
Okay. So
when I first started, I was pretty much a 1 dog at a time, and now I usually take 2 or 3 at a time.
I also saw a list of places that if you purchase from them, part of the proceeds would go back to Cocos Heart.
Right.
So many different varieties.
That's on our website, so there's a list of places where if you...
Pet sitting, walking your dog, even things like buying candles, wine, coffee.
Right.
Right? And you sell, like, you've got your cute Cocos dog
Cocos Heart.
I love
sweatshirts.
those.
So yes, we have these. They're stocked at Angels Pet World in Hudson, so you can stop in there, and we have a wide variety of them that you can buy. But soon we're going to hopefully have an online store. We're thinking the end of April is when we're going to be able to open the online store that people can go online and order as well.
That's awesome. So you mentioned, and we'll put this on the screen for everybody, but your website is
cocosheartdogrescue.org.
And you have a Facebook page also called?
Yes, and then it's under the Cocos Heart Dog Rescue.
And we talked about your new location.
Yes.
Well, what a passionate organization, I guess. That's what I see. And the growth has just been amazing. I didn't know that all these dogs came from so many different places, but I bet these puppies will be adopted soon. I mean, look at how perfect they've been.
They have
during
been
this
perfect.
interview. Well,
it's like I don't know if they're just bored or.
I think we wore them out before.
We wore them out beforehand. Yes.
Well, thanks again, ladies, so much for your
Sure,
time
thank you.
today, and good luck with everything. Thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
Until next month.